What are some ways to create and distribute project performance information? How would you prefer to accomplish this? How would the type of project change the way you distribute the information? Project performance information can be distributed verbally in a written format via email, where formally and informal electronic communication are often used when it is important to send information quickly to a large group of people. Face-to-face communication are important for developing relationship and trust with project stakeholders. Formal written communication are very important for documenting legal and other crucial information. Verbal communication are very important for people who prefer to communicate verbally and ask specific questions. The method to communicate that you select should be based on all type of information to be distributed, the audience requirement, the timeline for the required response. Any or all of the information are acceptable methods for distributing project information to stakeholder. It could be meeting, individual one-on-one meeting, stakeholder meeting, video conferencing, email, portal, collaborative work. The method you choose is based on your audience, environment, company policy, size of the project, and other factors. The three basic communication categories include face-to-face, hard copy communication, electronic communication. So this was an answer to what are some types of ways to create and distribute project performance information. How would you prefer to accomplish that? How would the type of project change the you check the information? Okay, now let's look at this in another way. Let's look at the importance of project information. Communication are critical deliverable of every successful project and key projects. Many experts agree that the great threat to success of any project, especially IT, is failure to communicate. Many problems in other knowledge areas such as unclear scope or unrealistic schedules indicate problem with communication. It's crucial for people, project managers and their team to make good communication a priority, especially with top management and other key stakeholders. Project communication is one deliverable that you personally responsible for, and it has a large influence over your project success or failure. Who to communicate? Employees could just say it's important to communicate with all the project stakeholders and leave it, but this approach would not guarantee success. Each individual stakeholder has complete set of requirement for project information and prefers different ways of receiving their communication. It will not be possible to define a unique set of communication and communication vehicles for each stakeholder in most projects. So the best project manager can do is to identify the different category of stakeholder and define the required information and communicate methods that best suits the group. What to communicate? What project information to communicate to a stakeholder is inextricably tied to the information that is available for communication. After all, you cannot communicate what you don't know. On the other hand, if you need to communicate, if the information is needed, is real, and gathering the information is feasible, you should make every effort to make it available. The choice of information to be communicated cannot be made without considering project tool and requirement for gathering information and vice versa. Keys to worthy communication. WORTHY. Just as it is difficult to understand people and their motivation, it is difficult to communicate with people effectively. Several important concepts can help us to make good communication with other people within the project. Some communication elements are given below. Focusing on groups and individual communication, right? Formal and informal communication, distributing information in an effective and timely manner, setting the stage for communication, bad news, determining the number of communication channels, managing communication. Managing communication is a large part of project manager's job, getting project information to the right people at the right time and is useful format is just important serving the information in the first place. The stakeholder communication serves as a good starting point for managing communication. Project manager and their teams must decide who receives particular information, but they should also determine the best way to create and distribute information. It is difficult to send written reports for project information. Is the text appropriate, or would the visuals or even the video communicate the better? Are meetings alone effective in distributing the some project communication is a question. Are meetings and written communication both required for the project is a question. What is the best way to provide information to virtual team member is a question. So we should select the appropriate method to communicate and decide the method and media. There are three broad classification to communication method: interactive communication, push communication, and pull communication. In interactive communication, the name implies two or more people interact. It could be via phone, video conferencing. The push communication is send or push to recipient without their request, like email, fax, voice messages. Pull communication is sent to recipient to a request via bulletin board. In addition to determining the appropriate method of communicating, it is important to consider what media to use.